Roadhouse, the remake of an original 1989 movie starring Patrick Swayze, which I wish I would have seen because I plan to watch it. I just haven't watched it yet, but it would have added probably some important context to this little recap and review of watching the modern version. But the 2024 version starring Jake Gyllenhaal, I thought was a very fun watch. Here is the official synopsis. Ex-UFC fighter Dalton takes a job as a bouncer at a Florida Keys roadhouse, only to discover that this paradise is not all it seems. And as we like to do here on the Spun Today Podcast, let's shout out the writers, the ones who make it all possible. Roadhouse was written by Anthony Bagarazzi, Chuck Mondry, and R. Lance Hill. Shout out to each of the writers that put this together. One more. My bad, I missed it. Miss Hillary Henkin is also credited. But yeah, again, knowing nothing of the original movie, and you don't need to going into this one. It's not like a sequel to it or anything like that. It's just a remake. It's really fun to watch. If you like action, has really good fighting scenes, car chases, boat chases. It's funny. Jake Gyllenhaal is just a phenomenal actor. He's one of my favorite actors. So I like watching whatever he puts out. Nightcrawler, Donnie Darko, back in the day, throwback. The Covenant, which my brother put me onto. Have I done a breakdown of The Covenant? I saw it with my brother and I saw it. I think I rewatched it again, or planned to rewatch it again. I know I saw it at least twice. But he's just a great, very engaging actor, and definitely carries this movie. He's the lead and kind of plays this very solitary, stoic, almost serial killer-like vibes you get from him. That's just like a vagabond and is going through town and just has these backyard brawl type fights for money because he has this past or this mystique about him from the past that they keep teasing throughout the movie. And spoiler alert, it's revealed that he winds up killing someone that was a friend of his when he was in the UFC. So he stopped doing that and just takes these cash fights, last man standing type deals that aren't sanctioned or televised or anything like that. Kind of like human cockfighting, but for real. And this lady that owns this roadhouse bar, lounge, restaurant place in the Florida Keys offers him a job to go and be the security guard there. And he turns it down at first, but then he needs the money, winds up doing it. And people in the town, and especially that work there and stuff like that, it's a very small town, start liking him because there's this local thugs that always terrorize the place, and he pretty much squashes all that shit by fucking all of them up. And it's just taking on anyone and everyone that comes his way. It's unrealistic, obviously, in that sense, but he has this kind of superhero-like mystique about him, where he just beats up like 5 or 6 bikers at once. It so happens that the reason why these bikers are always terrorizing this bar is that they want to get the girl to sell it, and it's been in her family for years. She doesn't want to sell. Or not they, their employer, which happens to be this more nefarious mafioso type character that wants to tear the place down and build hotels and resorts and shit like that because it's like on the waterfront. And then that dude's father, which is the real ringleader, is in prison, but left it to his son to take care of this. The son can't get it done, so the father employs Conor McGregor, or someone named Knox rather, played by Conor McGregor in Conor McGregor's acting debut, which he did okay. Not great acting wise, but it helped that he was playing a caricature of himself, basically. But I thought it was good. It definitely wasn't bad. And it was cool to see Conor too in a big movie like this, being a UFC fan, being a Conor fan. I think that's dope for him. So he gets employed to pretty much get rid of Jake Gyllenhaal and finish the job of getting this girl to sell. And there's epic fight scenes between them two. Between Dalton, which is Jake Gyllenhaal's character, and Knox, Conor McGregor's character. Even at the end or towards the end, there's a scene where Gyllenhaal's character is stabbing Conor McGregor with knives, but he keeps pulling them out and stabbing him multiple times. They both have this thing, which I don't even know if it's a real thing, but you know how people have different physical attributes. I have heard that some people feel pain as pleasure. It isn't exactly that, but it's that they both are very desensitized to pain. So it takes a lot to hurt them, which is why they're so good at fighting, etc. So their fight scenes are just brutal. And neither one lets up. Hence the repeated stabbings. But it was sick how they did it. And there's a great line that Jake Gyllenhaal's character delivers that I thought was worth sharing and absolutely applicable to creative pursuits, which is patience and a keen interest in the results. That's all it takes. I just thought that was a dope line that rings true to me. I would also add or remove the fact that that's all it takes. But patience and a keen interest in the results is all it takes. I would just sprinkle in hard work throughout that. But I like the sentiment behind that. Patience and a keen interest in the results. Anyway, if you guys want to listen to a dope pod where both Jake Gyllenhaal and Conor McGregor are on, speaking about the movie and a lot of the behind the scenes and making the movie, they were on Armchair Expert with Dax Shepard. I'll link to that in the episode notes for you guys to check out if you're interested. But yeah, the movie itself, a dope, entertaining watch. It was a fun watch. And I recommend it. Roadhouse, the 2024 version, streaming now on Amazon Prime.